right off the bat, mate, as an observer for this one-day series that you are, mate, did you feel a bit for him yesterday, as someone yourself who's been in and out of limited overs teams in the past?
Yeah, it's a pretty good question, Lou, to be honest with you. I to be honest, I haven't really watched much of it. Even though I'm here, I left straight away yesterday. But yeah, I do feel a bit for Sweppo. Obviously, it's pretty hard when you get one crack, then you miss the next. So I do feel for him a bit, but no doubt he's been told the reasons why, and he's able to go and work on those areas or whatnot. I'm not sure what the areas are. So no, but he seems to be okay, and yeah, in pretty good spirits.
And you've been a big rat for him in the past, Nath. Like, do you see it affecting his test standing at all?
To be honest, mate, I don't really know. I was really happy and really pleased with our partnership that we bowled together well in Pakistan. I know that he probably didn't have the ideal tour that he wanted, but he's a very team-focused player, and at the end of the day, we got the right team results. So I'm really happy with our partnership. I think there's still a lot of learning for both of us, especially in this part of the world. So we're excited about the challenges coming up. We know it's going to be hard work, but yeah, it's going to be pretty enjoyable.
Bharat.
Thanks, Cole. Morning, Nathan. You spoke about the challenges coming up, but so how different is Sri Lanka compared to, say, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, just for bowling spin?
It is a massive challenge, and it can be pretty different to all those areas, especially if you're coming off the back of Pakistan, where those wickets, they didn't break up, they didn't do anything, they were pretty banal wickets. But it's here, I think we're going to be a lot more in the game as spinners from day one. In my past history here, playing from my debut to another Test series a number of years ago to now, I think the conditions are going to be pretty similar. No doubt there'll be a couple of wickets they can choose from and where and what they want to go with. But we're expecting it to spin from ball one. Well, I certainly am. So that's the way I'm preparing.
So on that note, like, so when there is so much talk about the pitches turning, and historically it has, especially in the last few years, do you prepare differently for turning tracks as compared to, say, what you would have in Pakistan?
I wouldn't. I dare say there's a little bit different in preparation, but it's more about a mindset and probably thinking about tactics around field placements. It's not necessarily going to change the way I bowl. I'm very confident, obviously, in my skill set to get the job done, but it's more going to be around little tactics here and there. I've had a really good chat with Chandika, the New South Wales batting coach, who is a former Sri Lankan player and coach, so I've been able to get some decent insights into the subcontinent mindset, which has been quite handy. But it's going to be probably a little bit more tactical rather than the change in the way I bowl.
Thanks,
Russell.
Thanks, Cole. G'day, Nathan. Just a couple of quick ones, if I might. You mentioned there talking to your New South Wales coach. I was wondering what you've been doing since Pakistan, and has it been a lot of training, a lot of preparation for this tour, and are there any other things you've been doing, or did you get a bit of a break as well?
A bit of both, to be honest, mate. I've really enjoyed my time at home with family, especially over Easter. That was really nice. But a lot of hard work, a lot of physical work with my Tom Carter back at home, who I do a lot of work with. So. Trying to make sure that we're as ready as we can be with the heat here and the conditions over here. So it's obviously a lot different to being home. But I was able to get a lot of training in since Pakistan, which is nice, and I'm feeling really good and really confident.
You mentioned feeling confident, and before you just said you expect the Test match, the pitches to spin from ball one. Does that bring a bit of pressure from yourself as well? And how do you sort of carry that weight of expectation?
There's always pressure. It doesn't matter where you're playing in the world. You're playing the ultimate cricket and representing your country, so there's always pressure. So there's 11 guys who will take the field for Australia come that first test match, and we'll be all sharing the load of responsibility and also the pressure to make sure that we go out there and perform and play our role and play the brand of cricket that Andrew McDonald and Pat want to play, which is probably a really exciting part.
Just a final one. Matt Coonerman was playing with the Australia A team, called into the Aussie one-day team, obviously, and with Ashton's injury, he might be next in line to get a test match. Do you know much about Matt? Have you watched him bowl, and what do you think of him? And next rung below, Todd Murphy as well, who's been bowling pretty well for the A team.
I've been watching pretty closely. A couple of years ago, the Shield Hub, I actually did a session with Matt down, also Todd, different times down in that. But big fan of Matt. I think he's pretty composed character, so I think that can go a long way into the start of his international career. He's obviously performed very well in the A game. Then through injury, he got his opportunity, and I didn't watch last night's game, but he seemed to go okay in his debut game. But big future for both Matt and Todd. The young and they're learning, which is positive. It's a really good sign for Australian spin stocks.
Thanks,
Dan.
G'day, Nathan. Just wanted to ask you how big that 2016 tour of Sri Lanka was for you in terms of, you talked before about mindset, field settings, all that kind of stuff. Like, there's a bit of expectation that Australia would maybe do better in that test series than they did, and then your performances, say, going to India for the test series the following year were outstanding. Was that a bit of a turning point for you bowling in Asia?
I dare say you could say that, Dan. It was a really good learning curve, and I've said it every day. You can learn each and every day that you get out of bed and you try and get better. And I think that tour of 2016 was a really good tour to learn on. Obviously, it wasn't the tour that I planned in my head, or I dare say did anyone else in part of the Australian setup coming over here. But it was a challenging tour, but it was an opportunity for all us to learn, and I think that's probably the best thing about it. And we're able to learn and grow, I guess, and grow as cricketers and grow as people as well. So, I'm feeling really confident heading over here. Obviously, we know it's going to be a hard challenge, and off the back of the last couple of wins for Sri Lanka, they're going to be full of confidence and playing some really decent cricket. So, it's going to be a big challenge, but it's something that we should be all excited for.
And what are the things that you can take from the experience of winning that series in Pakistan that are relevant here, and what are the things that are not going to be relevant, or what are the things that are going to be particularly different?
I think to just sum it up all in one, mate, it's purely the belief that our process and what we're doing is starting to work. We all know how hard it is to win games of Test cricket away from home. There's a decent trend around the whole world, just not in the subcontinent, but I think the subcontinent probably added an extra 20% onto that. So I think just the pure belief that we're able to hang in there for 15 days of really hard Test cricket in the subcontinent in Pakistan and end up with the right result was probably the biggest thing. So the Australian Test team has and deserves a lot of belief in coming over here and performing in these difficult conditions.
Thank you.
Justin.
Yeah, g'day, Nate. Just another question on the spinning options. I guess given that the way the wickets are over there, do you think it's imperative to have that second frontline spinner, or would you think that yourself with a bit of help from Head and Labuschagne could be enough?
I think it will be a two-spin operation. If I'm being honest with you, I think it's going to be pretty important to play the conditions and etc. like that. So I do think it'll be a two-spin focus, that's for sure.
And we saw Sanger get forfeit in the Australian A squad. What have you noticed from him, I guess, seeing him closely over the years, and what do you think, could he be a potential option? I know it'd be a bit of a outside pick, but do you think someone like him could be ready?
What I've seen in Tanveer, I've seen him growing. Obviously, being part of the New South Wales squad, and throughout the last couple of seasons, I've been able to bowl with him in the nets and build that really, really good relationship with him. I'm a big fan of Tanvir. As I said, he's very similar to Matt and Todd as they are learning their craft. If the opportunity come, and no doubt he would take the opportunity, but I think at the moment Mitch Swepson is the leg spinner. He's in the squad, so I see it would be well and truly outside the square if they were to bring Tanvir into the squad. But he's an up and coming, exciting young leg spinner. So I think he's got a massive future in it. But he's very young and he's also learning as we all are. So it's but big future for Tanvir, that's for sure.
Yeah, I guess you spoke glowingly about your partnership with Swepson. What is it about bowling with him that you like so much?
To be honest with you, I've known Mitch for a long time now. From early days when I was starting my career, he was there working with John Davison alongside me, bowling in the nets as a net bowler. So I've seen his progression, and it's been really, really good to watch from afar, but now up close and personal, which has been really exciting. So I love the way. He's a team first bowler, he's a team first player, and he'll do anything for the team, and that's what I love about Sweppo. He works his absolute backside off and he's trying to get better in each and every day, so I've got nothing but praise for Mitch, to be honest.
Yeah, cool, thanks for that.
Thanks, guys. Looks as though there isn't any more questions here, so if that's the case, we'll wrap it up there, guys. Thanks very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Cole. Thanks, Nathan.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, bro.
Recording stop.